Okay, I'm Kate Fox, and I am talking with Laura Cerrano of Feng Shui, Manhattan. I lost my speech ability right now. And we're going to talk about actually love and relationships and how that works with Feng Shui. So tell me something.
Okay. So, what do you want to know?
I want to know, how can you better your relationships with Feng Shui?
All right. So, how can we better our relationship with Feng Shui? The first thing that comes to mind will be communication. So, when it comes to communication, we're referring to the concept of first looking at your home, seeing how that's communicating to you in the sense of, does it present the opportunity to have an open space where you're ready to communicate with the universe, the world, that you're ready to let that individual into your home? So that would start actually with the outside, which is where we're sitting.
Yes.
So it starts before you even get into the house. So what type of message are you communicating to that potential individual that you're attracting? Before, as I was mentioning to everyone previously, you could see over here, there are tiny little flowers that are growing, right? Originally, there were big burly bushes that were overtaking this whole area where we're sitting on, and it was even covering the house number, which is a basic recommendation to make sure you see the house number. And it was also covering the butterfly, which for me, the butterfly symbolizes transformation of the self. And then also we had two big bushes by the beginning of the pathway where again they were crowding the space. So it was almost like saying we're not allowing people in, even if we have the intention to.
You were still not inviting.
Yeah, it was almost like the subconscious mind was speaking to that type of situation. So it got to the point where I was like, I want to be found, and allow that other person or those energies, not just for partnership, but for business, for anything, to be, to find me as well, and to share this experience with whomever's going to step into my life. So that's another thing, is you want to communicate to the world, but also communicate to yourself. What are your intentions for why you're interested in pursuing or attracting these type of energies or relationships?
Okay. And that so all energies, friendship, love.
Yep, love, friendships,
partnerships, so say business in different areas.
Yeah, it could be business relationships, it could be strangers. Anybody you come into contact with, you've just established a relationship with. So if you think of it that way, a stranger really isn't a stranger. As soon as you make eye contact, shake their hand, a gesture, any of that all relates to relationship dynamics.
Wow, okay. And then say I want to find the love of my life. What do I do? How open is that?
Oh my. So trying to, I guess, digest that question in simpler steps or fragments. The first thing is getting to know thyself, right? William Shakespeare. Get to know yourself, which is really important. So if you will, you can think about dating yourself. That's one of the easier ways to imagine this process. So as we were talking, we all just came back from lunch, and as we were driving back, we were talking about the concept of becoming comfortable just being by yourself.
Yes,
which is super important, because there's a lot of misconception out there in fairy tale world of relationships, that once you get into a relationship, that other person will fulfill your every need. If you have that preconception, please release it, because that sets you up for some pretty unrealistic expectations.
Well, with those expectations, then you're saying to yourself already, I'm not complete. correct?
Yes, that could be the storyline that's running through your mind right now. And some people are aware of it, some people are not aware of it. So this is an opportunity to step back, go within and say, let me double check myself. Let me see where I fall within that spectrum of conversation.
Okay, because ideally you want someone, not need them.
I don't even know if you want to use the word want.
Okay, you don't want to need them. How about that?
So even the words you use will carry a certain frequency of vibration.
Yes.
So I went through different phrases and phases of the words. First I started with I want, then I started with maybe I deserve, and it just kept going until I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I deserve to share an experience with that other person, and to be fair, because each person is a reflection of us, I would like to share their experiences.
Okay.
So you're giving and receiving, so it goes into that whole conversation of what can I add to the relationship in terms of value, of growth, and vice versa, because when we're in the relationship, that's when we tend to grow the quickest, the fastest. We learn even more about ourselves and not just about the other person. So
Right.
it's this beautiful existence together. It could be, if it's healthy.
Yes.
If it's not healthy,
That's a whole other thing.
it's a whole other thing, but it's not a waste of time either. These are experiences of learning what you don't need. What you learn what you deserve and what is not of benefit or value.
Right, what
to
serves
yourself.
you.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ins and outs. So it's not just, we put two pairs of lovey-doves, in the partnership corner. That could be part of it, yes.
We're all set now.
Yeah, we're all good. But if you see the same pattern of behavior, the same type of person who's coming into your life, and you're repeating the same lessons, that means you haven't learned what you needed to learn yet. So we got to get on that. But the environment inside and outside will help you to feel more supported, more grounded, so you can continue to evolve.
Okay, now speaking of evolving, you are actually engaged to be married.
Yes. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did you personally come to this place?
A lot of, we'll say, self-reflection, tapping into what we call in Feng Shui the helpful people gua, or life section. And that's not just about enhancing it at home. I had to do research and get myself out there and find proper mentors who can, what I'm sharing is from what I learned from them, and then put it into my own personal experience of forgiveness, letting go. And it goes even into the storyline of my adoption. It goes back to some really deep roots, and then it would give segue into my family connections, and then it would give insight into how I'm developing relationships, not just with the same sex, but with the opposite sex. So I really had to dig deep on understanding the scripts again that were running in my head, and begin to rewrite them and tell a new story so I can open myself up. And I would use imagery, I would use new role models, which is really fascinating. Like my role models, because I'm adopted, I don't have any biological references. So my immediate role models became the men who were in my life. My brother, my father, my uncles, in particular my Uncle Peter, my father, and some other gentlemen throughout my experience here on Earth. And they helped educate me, teach me, allow me to ask questions and express myself, and eventually it started to mold itself into a vision of, we'll call him a soulmate. There are many soulmates, but a soulmate who will accompany me on this journey and help me evolve and feel comfortable, even with my own feminine energy. There's like so many levels built into this.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
True.
So So,
yep.
okay. So now, you have some things you were going to share with us.
Yes, I have a little story of how we came to be. So if we're going very practical, before my fiance became a reality, here's the surface level. People say, how do we represent an ideal partnership? This is a carved statue. Some of you may have seen it before. The name of the statue is called Promise. And so even how it's named, how it's made, the texture, I really love this piece because you could see with the face, there is no identity. So you're leaving it out and open. And I absolutely love how they're embracing each other. So for me, it's not just the physical embrace, it's the emotional, the spiritual, the mental. And I said, this one object captures the foundations that I'm looking for in my partner, that I would like to have and also to give. So that's how, in that spectrum, how it began, and having things in twos and pairs, close or near the same height and size also relates to equality, if you like, so, which is important. And then we started evolving. And so this is the gentleman who I'm getting ready to marry. His name is Aldo. Aldo, you're on TV. So, and this is actually a photo of us in Alaska where he proposed, which is really beautiful. And this actually here is the actual proposal photo.
Oh my goodness.
So I remember he asked one of the pilots, we were on Mount Denali in Alaska, and he gave the pilot his camera and he's like, could you record this? The pilot was a little like bothered by that request, but he didn't know what was about to happen.
And
then,
that's
yeah,
okay
it was a surprise. And then so the pilot started filming, and then you hear him go, oh. He's like, oh, there, I see.
I love that.
Yeah. So, but this was a still from that video, which was great. So even capturing, if you're in a relationship, obviously displaying photos of your spouse, right? Your girlfriend, boyfriend, whomever. So having that. Now this is kind of interesting because in a lot of the practices or the schools and the theories of Feng Shui, they'll say never have family photos in the bedroom. I will challenge that. Mindfully, but with clear intent why I'm doing that. So this is what I decided to do, because on my mom's side of the family, unfortunately most of my family members there, if not all, are deceased. So we have a photo of us together. This is another photo of us together. So I like to double up my photos. And then behind it, supporting the energy, is a family.
Wow.
So you can go that, we'll say, deep in thought and how you want to address things. This is for the future. Or you could just keep it simple. Doesn't matter. But with Feng Shui and adopting the lifestyle, it's teaching us to blend ancestors, past, with today to make a new tomorrow. It's very fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't think I have ever done that with pictures.
Could try it.
Yes, I
See
can.
how it feels.
I love it. I love that you
Yeah.
do that.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
So, but what's really nice about this is because anything you do, I mean, maybe the word challenge isn't the right word, but either way, it's more about making your own remedies. That's why in Feng Shui we talk about principles, not rules. They're principles. They're gonna evolve and change as you do and as humanity does. Okay?
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you so much for enlightening us and sharing your story. And we're going to say it again. fengshuimanhattan.com.
Yes.
So if you want to find out about Laura, about the practice, about where she's doing workshops, about all of that stuff, go to fengshuimanhattan.com and you'll find out a whole lot of stuff. So thank you again, Laura.
Thank you, Kate.
And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Same
again.
here. All right.
Thank you. I'm Kate Fox.